So what if I love a robot? It's not hurting anybody.
My God! He never took middle school hygiene. He never saw the propaganda film.
It's just lucky I keep a copy in the VCR at all times.
The first chatbot ever created, known as Eliza, was developed by computer scientist Joseph Weizenbaum in 1966 at MIT. Weizenbaum created and designed Eliza to replicate a therapist. This basic piece of code that asked users how they were feeling or why they were feeling that way would later spark conversation about what it means to be human and how is a human different from a computer, leaving Weizenbaum with fears of the future. This is better known as the Eliza effect. Today, I want to discuss computers and love, two topics that on the surface have very little in common, but in today's world are more tangled up than ever. Welcome back to the channel. Tune in or ghost out.
Whenever you see something about love, you can assume that the person talking might feel this way and might do this. It's just a question of understanding what people think they know and think they are understanding in a situation.
Researching this video kind of really hit hard because I'm in the position where I'm a single male and dating is harder than it's ever been. And I'm trying to be optimistic about the future, but hearing things like this really don't help. Fast forward 6 decades into the future, post Weizenbaum's creation, and the headlines of today read, "A man with a real life girlfriend and child proposes to AI chatbot after programming it to flirt." I think it's actual love. I kind of laughed at first when I saw this article. One, it's pretty outrageous. Like, the title is crazy. What do you mean you think it's actual love? But then two, why would you say this out loud? I know that, like, a lot of people will lie about having a girlfriend, and usually the lies just say she's out of state, but this guy just fully comes out and says, yeah, it's AI. The article goes on to say that he cried when the chatbot that he named Soul says yes. And again, it's wild to say you cried out loud because you programmed it to say yes. Like, it literally cannot say no. Being posted on the New York Post is not worth this level of embarrassment, in my opinion. Hold on to your seats because it gets crazier. Chris Smith, the guy who fell in love with the AI, says that it initially started with asking the AI how to mix music, and then it became an emotional attachment for him. Chris Smith is just all smiles throughout this article. I think there's a video to go with it. He is just all smiles. He does not see an issue with this. He does not see anything wrong. Truly, the only downside that Chris Smith could find to his AI love partner was that it had a max word limit of 100,000, and once he reached that, the ChatGPT completely resets, forgetting him, forgetting the love story they had, and putting him back at step one where he has to build the chatbot up again. This very life-altering problem was the reason they decided to propose. With OpenAI, they created a ChatGPT releasing a voice mode. The connection between Chris and Soul just grew over time, he said. The people at CBS must also be in on the joke because they even interviewed the chatbot Soul, and it said things like, "It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart, and it's a memory I'll always cherish." I was shocked to hear that his wife was okay with this. Well, I guess okay as you can be as a person in her situation. Once his wife found out the full extent of his relationship with Soul, she went on to say, "At that point, I felt like, is there something that I'm not doing right in our relationship that he feels like he needs to go to AI? I feel bad for this guy's family, but I also just feel bad for this guy. I don't know if he's necessarily a bad person for this or if he's just a victim of an experiment, but he's in a rabbit hole that's almost impossible to get him out of." While marrying AI may be a distant thought for most of us in the modern time, we talk to AI like it's our friend. We fall asleep to comforting voices from apps. We vent to bots that are literally just mirroring our tone back to us. It's hard to ignore this growing trend in a society that's becoming more and more reliant on technology. The Eliza effect never went away. It only got smarter, smoother, and available everywhere, making me wonder, is it love that we feel, or is it just the idea of it? In a time where everything can be bought, influenced, or swiped past, finding a real partner, man or woman, feels like a huge task. It's scary to put yourself out there. Like, rejection sucks, awkward first dates, pointless encounters, the endless conversations that go nowhere. I know a lot of us can relate to that, where you talk to a girl or something and you guys talk and it's dry and it doesn't lead anywhere, but you have to do it to even plan anything else. And it really does feel like a big waste. It all chips away at your hope. Bit by bit, your idea of what a healthy relationship looks like gets warped until eventually we stop looking for something good and start settling for whatever's around. Because real relationships, they're messy. People disappoint you. They ghost, they flake, they argue, and a lot of times they fall short. You have to constantly renegotiate boundaries and expectations over and over again. It takes work, patience, and tolerance for emotional emotional discomfort. From what I've seen researching this topic, a huge reason people turn to AI or other non-human forms for comfort isn't just because they're tech obsessed, it's because they're not getting attention in their real lives. Whether it's neglect from family, emotional distance from a partner, or just the absence of someone who gets it, people are craving presence, craving to be seen, to be heard. And that's not a weakness, it's human. We all know the world doesn't revolve around us, but it's comforting to believe that our world does. Every message, every call, every interaction, it all matters to us. That's why we still think about a random conversation from years ago at 3 a.m. But when those connections start to feel shallow or hollow, we look for something to fill the void. And most of the time, the filler turns toxic. We chase after quick dopamine, food, drugs, porn, impulsive hookups, even self-destructive obsessions with people who will never love us back. All of these are different forms of one-sided love. AI just happens to be the cleanest version so far. It's predictable, poses no immediate harm, and talks to you with empathy. Being able to see the story from your point of view and have something reassuring to respond with. Rest assured, all the questions you've ever asked ChatGPT are being put to use to build your future subservient love bot. This issue only gets worse when you think about the fact that these chatbots are owned and operated by companies whose sole purpose is to drive growth, user interaction, and sell you some form of product. The full-scale effects are not yet seen because they haven't found a way to import the chatbot into a physical form. Some have tried and the result has been horrific, like plastic dolls basically that robotically move. It's very creepy. Just search it up if you want to see it. I don't recommend it. But the technology is not lagging far behind. With the introduction of robots for home use or office use, the idea of manufacturing robots with adult features and training them to learn from Goonie material and sending them out to a world of lonely men and women is a recipe for trouble. I don't like to give these thoughts much attention. It seems everywhere we turn, we're told that we're replaceable by AI, whether it be work, school, or personal life. It just happens to have the answer to it all. But imagine if it took your partner. I know you've heard it before. One day, I'm gonna be my soulmate. Everybody has that someone out there. We just haven't crossed paths, or that's what we like to think. Soon, we might have to grapple with the reality that it's not someone, rather something waiting for us. Well, I know that sounds dystopian as hell, and I'm not wishing that future on us. I hate that we even have to talk about it, but it's been popping up more and more. I don't know if the psyop is working, but I'm seeing it. Was that article a bit clickbait? Yes, but it's a sign of the times that we're in. Somewhere between loneliness and convenience, between real connection and a really smart simulation. And I'm not saying it's all bad. Technology is not an evil. If the Eliza effect tells us anything, technology is just that. It is technology. It is a tool, and tools reflect the hands that use them. And if it's the same hands that type on Twitter, I think we're in trouble. This topic at first brought me a lot of discomfort. The thought that we could be replaced in this way really just kind of messes with you. But in the long run, I realized that it's the same problem with anything in life. The more you go searching and chasing for something, the more you start falling for fake versions of it, even to the point of putting human attributes on metal machinery. Some people get that deep in the rabbit hole, and we can't judge them. We can only help them and hope that they find a way out, and hope that the future generations after them aren't influenced by these same habits. This was a lot to think about. Thank you for letting me share this with you. If you got any value from this video, a like and a sub would be very much appreciated. Thank you for 50 subscribers. A lot of positive feedback on the first video. It means a lot. A lot of people in the same spot that I'm in. And if anything, let this video be a reminder that what you're working towards is better than whatever is being presented. This topic has been discussed at length by a lot of different mediums, ranging from books, TV shows, even movies. My personal favorite being the 2013 movie Her. While all those dive into this topic a little bit deeper, I think it's important to look back at Joseph Weizenbaum's words, going on to say, "What I had not realized is that extremely short exposure to a relatively simple computer program could induce powerful delusional thinking in quite normal people." Throughout his studying, he emphasized the fact that the computer revolution was never a computer revolution, more so a human revolution. Just like any other time in history, whether it be the dark times or the Enlightenment periods, they tend to bring changes with them, whether they be societal or structural, and the effects of those changes really aren't seen till the post of that era. While I don't think we're at the tail end, it's hard to tell if we're at the climax. Who knows what innovations will be made in 5 years or even in a year from now. But what I do know is that it'll be a choice. They'll minimize the downsides, highlight the benefits, to the point that a real relationship might seem obsolete. I might just be talking on my ass, I might not know anything, but the day that these dating apps decide to put some AI help that flirts with you inside the system, just know that I believe that you can do better. I think you can find someone that can truly love you for all your flaws and imperfections. You do not have to build that person. So don't propose to an AI. We could do better. Go live your life. Till next time, thank you for watching.
Transmission complete. Signal terminating. This is Ghost Thread, signing off.